Good morning, angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
Welcome to week 3 of youth internship. So we're going to go on to our weekly assignments. This week we will be looking at the cost of college. We're going to have you do some research and figure out exactly or approximately how much money you will need to go to school for the first full year. This is going to include all kinds of things like food, tuition, books, all that kind of good stuff. We'll also look at options for paying for college. Now, there are a lot of things out there that you can get to help you pay for college, and we'll look at what those things are. You will also be doing your observation at your workplace this week, and I have tentatively scheduled it for Wednesday. I have to go and make sure everything is, all okay for you guys. And this will be an opportunity for you to go to your workplace, kind of communicate with your advisor or your mentor, and set up your schedule for the next 2 weeks. And I will kind of give you a packet that you will go over with me to see the things that I'm going to be looking for and the things that are going to be required of you. And you'll also have things that you will relay to your mentor / workplace that you need them to look over so that they can evaluate you appropriately. And then if all goes well, we're going to have our first placements are going to be on Friday. Except you, Kaylee, you will have your placement on Monday because the clinic is not open on Friday. So we're going to dive right in and we're going to look at the reality of moving out on your own. It is going to be a fun and it's going to be a scary time, but we're going to kind of see what this student has to pay for, has to realize once he moved out on his own. It's an interesting little video.
Eddie Ramiro has just moved out of his parents' house and into his first apartment. He has big dreams and some big expenses, and he's trying to make it all work out.
My name's Eddie. My passion is music. I started playing when I was 12 years old. Music and art is fun for me, and it takes me to another place. If I could do anything in the world, I'd want to be a musician, travel the world, share my music. But if that doesn't work out, that's why I'm going to college right now. That's why I'm going to school for advertising. I love doing graphic design. I love the multimedia stuff, so it's not like I'm losing out on anything. I'm working to pay for junior college right now, but I know I got to save some money to get into a 4-year university. I just moved into a new apartment. I moved out mostly because I wanted to have my own freedom. I thought moving out was going to be a lot easier than it was, but there are so many expenses, it's unbelievable. Like, I have to pay gas, you need to maintain your car to get the oil change, brakes. There's food, which is very important because I love to eat. Alright, so this is my new place. Just got it about 2 months ago. This is where me and my friends like to hang out, watch football games, watch some TV, just kick back. Over here we got the barbecue, cook some steaks on there. I recycle, it's gas money. I'll give you $10 right there, that puts gas. In the fridge we got some frozen meats. Buy it, freeze it, eat it whenever you want. Down here my mom sends me a lot of food. Thanks, Mom. I thought for sure that I was going to have enough money, I was going to be able to do all the things that I was doing when I was living at home, but it's not like that at all. I have to work more, I have to bring work home. I mean, I thought about getting a credit card, but I was like, yeah, right, I'm just going to end up spending money that I don't even have. I'm just scraping by. I don't have any savings. I need a budget, I need a plan.
Now, you said you wanted to do a budget because you just moved out of your parents' home. And you're kind of short on cash and you don't have a lot of money, but you also wanted to save some money for things that were important to you. Financial planners focus on helping people talk about their dreams, their life plans, their goals, things that are really important to them. So the components to a budget is just basically the income that you earn less the expenses. Now, Name some expenses that you currently have. Rent, okay?
Gym membership.
Okay, what else? What are the expenses you have? What do you do on the weekends?
Go to shows.
Okay, now are you keeping track of how much you spend on that stuff per month?
Not really.
Okay, so one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to create a budget, and for the next 30 days, you're going to keep track of every expense that you have that comes out of your pocket, because we want to see where you're really spending your money. I guarantee you that after we meet later on, you're going to find at least a couple $100 a month that you could put together and invest for something more important that's going to change your life, okay?
Sounds good.
What gives me true joy is seeing the transformation of clients when I show them how to use their money to live a better life, a better quality of life. They walk out of here different people.
I think what Lewis was getting at was trying to get my mind to see bigger picture, not just what I want to see. I was surprised to see that I was spending so much money on music and concerts and just even hanging out with friends. I decided to put just a certain amount of money into my student credit card so I could only spend as much as I put in. And I know I won't save enough for my degree, but at least I won't have to borrow as much as people who don't save up at all. Life is more than just about creating a budget. It's about everything you do now is to get to that greater goal that you want to get. And I'm not saving just to get by and go out. I think I'm saving now so I could fulfill my dreams.
Now let's look at the cost of college, and I'm going to kind of go over in this PowerPoint just some general ideas of the cost of college. When you actually sit down and you start doing your assignment where you will figure out your costs for your college, then it'll be a little bit more real to you. But for right now, we're just going to see just the overall cost of college. So, cost of college, it varies from school to school. The biggest thing that you will probably have to pay for is your tuition. And we'll look at what tuition really is, because tuition is more than just paying a flat rate. You pay per credit hour. So, every class that you skip, every class that you have to retake, you're paying more money than you should, you shouldn't have to, as if you had taken it serious the first time. So tuition fees vary from college to college. And these are going to include your tuition, your room and board, books and supplies, transportation, personal expenses, and just like tuition, these costs are going to vary from college to college. If you live in a place that has, a lot of public transportation, you probably won't need to use your car very much, so you won't have to worry about gas. If you live in a more rural area, you probably will need your car. So it depends on where you go. But these are just, in general, these are your costs that you have to look at. Students can find ways to save money on most of these expenses that's on this list. So you can see that the cost of college is going to depend a lot on the choices that you make. And we're going to look at some of the different kinds of choices. So, when you go to a website for a college, they're going to give you what's called the published price. This is what the average published yearly tuition costs, including fees like lab fees. It's not including books, and it's not including your room and board. Most of the time it's not including your room and board. So when you see this is the average. This does not necessarily mean that what you're going to be paying for, but it's the average. And this is the average before you take out financial aid. So don't let these prices on college websites discourage you. The number you actually need to know is the estimated net price for you. So how do you figure that out? Almost all colleges have a net price calculator on their website. And so when we go through looking at the cost of college for each of you, and when you look at for each of you, we're going to see if your college has that. Sometimes the smaller schools don't. And if that's the case, we'll have to try to just, figure it out, and we might have to use the published price for this. But we could also use the net cost estimate on College Board website, and I will have a link to that so you can use that if your chosen school does not have it. So here are some college budget busters that students should avoid. Stick to your meal plans. Grabbing a bite or a pick-me-up every now and then, it does add up. That sandwich between classes and that cup of coffee to make it through that boring lecture may seem just like a few dollars, but they really add up over the semester. Consider the math. $5 a day at Starbucks is $1,825. Dinner out at $3 a week or $30 a week is $1,560. That's a lot of money. That's a total of $3,385, which is the average cost of 1 year of community college that you are just wasting, because more than likely you are on a food plan so that you don't need to get those quick bites. Go to the cafeteria or use your food plan instead of going out to Starbucks to get that $5 coffee. It's suggested that you set aside maybe $10 to $20 a week for your splurges, because maybe once in a while you do want that coffee and you should treat yourself, but you don't need to do it every day. If you have that $20 a week in cash, you'll be able to visually see how much money you have left, and you can kind of, pool it for, $40 for 2 weeks if you have to. But learning how to budget and learning how to set aside money is going to help you stay within your limit. Is overspending on meal plans. Most schools have varying levels of meal plans. It could be, a specific number of meals you actually get, or it's a specific dollar amount each week. What you need to do is you need to figure out what works best for you. And the best way to do that is to sit down and look at your schedule, because it can be really hard to squeeze in 3 trips to the dining hall every day. And if you don't, you're overpaying. You're overpaying because you use it or you lose it. So before purchasing a campus meal plan, take the total cost of the plan and divide it by the number of meals the plan allows. So if your plan costs maybe $500 a semester and it allows you to have, 3 meals a day, you divide that to see how much money you're actually spending. It also may be necessary to subtract your dining dollars, which is a feature that some campus meal plans give students, that you can use this money at your campus store for quick snacks and things. Doing this math will help you get a better cost per meal, which is sometimes as high as $10 or $11. So it may be your best option is to get the cheaper meal plan, and you can, eat in a couple of times. You're not spending $11 for a meal. Most of the times, if you're staying in a dorm, you are required to have a meal plan of some sort. So look at the smallest plan if you think that you're not going to be able to make it to the dining hall every meal, every day. Look at your other options. However, you may find that you don't want to go out to dinner. You don't want to have to go grocery shopping. You don't want to live off of ramen noodles. And you would rather have the peace of mind of every meal that every meal you wake up, you can go down and have something to eat and don't have to worry about, where your next meal is coming from. Another one is avoid overdoing it in social events. Although socializing and going out with friends is part of the college experience, students have different budget sizes, and everyone needs to know their own financial limits. Try to find friends and activities that match your interests and budget levels instead. It's important for you guys to keep social spending in moderation and set aside monthly limitation for weekend experiences. So we're not saying that you need to sit in your dorm room all day long, but just plan for that. Maybe not every weekend you're driving to the city to watch a baseball game or whatever. Maybe once a month. If you're in student loan debt and you're still figuring out how to finance next semester's textbooks, you might want to have to reconsider how much you spend on your weekend activities.